Yo, what's going on, guys? Welcome back to another episode of Team Building with Zooch, where I take a live guest and team build with them for a matchup, and then afterwards I'll go ahead and watch the replay and talk about how I think the team performed, how the battle went, and everything else. So without further ado, we have another poketuber here with us. KSaun joining us for a BBR game. What's going on, man?
Yeah, man. Thank you so much for having me. Super excited about this one.
Hey, I'm excited. Glad to have you. I know you watched my videos before, and I watched some of yours too, so it's good to nice and talk to you for a little bit, and get this build going.
Absolutely.
Hell yeah. So
Yeah, just to glaze you for a second, I think I said it on one of your videos, but this is genuinely probably my favorite kind of draft content to watch.
Hey, I
I'm
appreciate
just
it.
super into the team building aspect, so this is very cool, very helpful.
Of course. That's the goal, man. Just helping people out if I can. Anyway, so I like doing this. I don't really join a lot of stuff myself, but I just like, building up with other people, and I just building with a new team too in general. Like every week or so is just refreshing. You're not using the same guys over and over, so it's definitely cool. So, but all right. So we have our BBR game here. So you already told me, but just for the video, how are you doing so far in this BBR?
Yeah. So not great. We're 1-3 at the moment. We are facing an opponent who is 0-4 though, so we're kind of both desperate for a win.
Yep.
Started off the season right with a win. Probably could have won week 2, but I kind of screwed up at the end. The next 2 games just got beat, so looking for
a bounce back game. Yep, that's right.
Yep.
Okay. Well, what is there, 8 weeks, right? I think 8 or 9.
It's 9 actually. So
9,
there's a good amount of time left where can turn things around, but
yeah, for
I
sure.
can't lose many more.
Yeah, I would say you probably need 5 wins to sneak in, maybe 4 if you have good diff, but probably 5 that you want to aim for.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, plenty of time, like you said. So, have you looked at this matchup at all, or not really?
A little. Nothing too crazy.
Okay.
I recently just made basically a couple transactions with the team, just because I've been struggling a little bit to feel comfortable with everything. I like some of the mons, but I've really noticed some of the weaknesses with my team, so I tried to shore that up a little bit, but we'll see.
Okay,
see how it goes.
So this is the updated team, or not yet?
It is. So Blastoise and Skarmory are both new.
Okay.
Ideally, I just wanted a better spinner.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't feel great about mine before.
Okay.
Yeah, this matchup, just hoping that I can say pretty please don't bring Terra Raging Bolt.
Oh, yeah.
And maybe he'll just listen and then we could be good. So.
Yeah, I mean, the thing with like Terra Raging Bolt, Terra Zarude, it's just like those things are you can't really you can't bring you can't bring a counter, you can't bring a check. You can try to soft check it, is what they say. Is basically just bring in something to at least hold it in place, just to let your offense kind of take over before it can go crazy. But something like that, it's pretty hard to just design something on your team to just be able to just take it on 1v1, because it's just too strong with Terra. Like it's just not really possible. So, but I definitely think we can have a couple of things to just switch in maybe once or twice, and then let your offense kind of do its thing. So, yeah, a couple of things I'm noticing. Your team's speed tier is actually pretty nice. He does have the fastest in Weavile, but after that, your next 4 are faster than everything else. So that's pretty good. I think Blastoise is gonna have to put in overtime here. I think Fizdef Blastoise is really good into Urshi, Weavile, Metagross, even Donphan to get to spin on the rocks. So I think Fizdef Blastoise sticks out immediately, which is kind of weird because I don't usually think of like just defensive Pokemon to pop out right away, but it does seem like it's gonna be pretty good. I mean, you also have a Terra Iron Hands, which I think is pretty underrated. I like Iron Hands. I've never used it myself, but I've seen a lot of replays where it does put in work. So I definitely think that guy is for sure coming. Obviously, Valiant is too good to never not bring.
Yep.
The crown is cool. I think we're gonna probably. I don't think crown necessarily is gonna be like a setup like win condition here, just because there's a Metagross, there is a Moltres, but I do think because it's so fast, it's actually literally faster than everything besides Weavile. You could probably slap on like an Assault Vest, and that could probably be like our initial Bolt, like just switching just to kind of see, is he a Calm Mind variant, is he just Specs, like what is he? And then you can either Volt Switch out or Psyshock if he starts on Calm Mind, like something for that. And again, even if you're, let's say we're like max speed, max HP for Assault Vest, even with no investment, like you're still gonna probably do a shitload to like Urshifu. Moltres, you'll take a lot from like a Psychic if you're Psychic. You could probably live a natural knockoff from Crown if you're max HP from Weavile, but I'm not really too sure. Even something though like Rillaboom is solid. Like it's just you block the glide, it could just U-turn on you, which is fine. So I think just first glance, again, this could easily change. But I think Crown is probably going to be your designated like initial switch into this guy. Bolt's obviously the most overwhelming Pokemon for your team to switch in, and for any team honestly. So, but
Sure.
Yeah, first class. I think this matchup isn't like too bad actually for you. I think some of you guys have like stick out sets that I think do good into Hunky's team.
I agree.
Yeah.
Yeah, just to piggyback on what you're saying, that is like one of the things I noticed was one, the speed tiers.
Mm-hmm.
It allows me that I don't even need to run a speed boosting nature with Valiant if I want.
Yep, exactly.
I can go Modest or Admin or something like that.
Yep.
And then just the amount of physical attackers he has, I think kind of benefits me because either Hands or Skarmory, like you said, Fistef Blastoise, I feel like can put in a lot of work and take a decent amount of hits.
Yeah. I think Hands will probably be pretty defensive too. Literally his entire team actually, besides just Bolt and Moltres, right? Like,
right.
I guess Alcremie could be, but that guy needs to set up a little bit. He's not just straight up power. So yeah, I mean, I think Max Fizz at both these guys makes a lot of sense. If we do go for like an AV Crown, like we're like speed and HP, that's a pretty good like defensive core. And even like Hands, even though if we do invest in this defense, it could still be like a Sword Stance, Drain Punch set, or just or just 4 attacks regardless. But then I think the last 3 Pokemon, obviously one of those is going to be Valiant. We'll probably have to like round out your offense here. Zoroark's interesting. I've never actually used this guy. Have you been liking him, or how is that going?
I have. So I actually haven't played Draft League like that long. I've played probably 60 games total, probably.
Oh, okay. Did you start this gen or Gen 8?
I started this gen, but I did use Zoroark in a different league, and I really enjoyed it, so I drafted it again. I actually don't think this is the greatest team for it to be on, but I just like them on.
Oh, yeah.
However, I will say the one thing that's gone very well is I've been able to disguise it off lead well.
Yeah.
Like I surprised a Quillfish game 1 and just blew it up with a Specs Hyper Voice, and then in a different game baited in Swampert, thinking that it was Crown, and was able to do a lot of damage. And yeah, that worked well, but I mean, it hits hard and it's fast. It's cool.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's not bad here because I don't know about specs necessarily, because there is a Metagross.
Sure.
If he wants to bring like Spadef, Eviolite, this guy, sure. But I think just maybe like a oh god, what's the item that boosts normal attacks? Silk Scarf. I think something like a Silk Scarf, because again, the only normal resist is just Metagross, right? I think no Rock type, no Ghost type. There's no Ghost type. Yeah, no. So yeah, I just Silk Scarf. The reason why I'm saying Silk Scarf though over just specs is because I'm pretty sure it's like Silk Scarf, like Hyper Voice into Shadow Ball will let you pick off Metagross. So I don't really see a switch in on this team that can take 2 Silk Scarf Hyper Voices. So in my point, like I feel like that's probably just straight up better than specs, because it lets you like hit the Metagross that comes in after if you want. We'd have to look at some calcs. Maybe I'm overestimating its damage. I'm not really too sure. But I think it is pretty solid.
I think you're spot on.
Oh yeah, it is 125. Yeah. It's pretty strong. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm just looking here. Looks like Silk Scarf, if I'm timid, if he's just max HP, it does like basically the perfect amount.
Yeah.
The Shadow Ball Hyper Voice.
Yeah. I do think.
Yeah, I was just saying I ran specs a different week. I don't know if I want it this week.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's honestly fine. It's not the worst, but I think some sort of boosting is probably ideal here. Yeah. Obviously the Bolt can Terra into something like maybe a Steel type. I'm trying to look right now. What would he Terra into versus your team?
So this is one thing I will say, and maybe, well, I don't know. I've played 4 weeks.
Yep.
The 1 week where my opponent didn't Terra Ghost was because he had Ogerpon and couldn't. Every other person has gone Terra Ghost on me.
Ghost, yeah.
And I think that's mainly because obviously solid with Valiant. I can't like CC or Aura, but the main reason I think is just because of Hands, because I can't Drain Punch.
Yep.
I can't like steal HP.
Yep.
I think that's like the big thing.
Yep. So that's even another reason to go Silk Scarf over specs, so you're not locked into that normal move if it is Terra Ghost.
I don't know that he would go in this matchup. I just know it's like a 3 for 3 so far.
Yeah,
so
and that would,
I could see it happening.
Yeah, that would be good into our crown AV if that is what we bring to. Okay, that's interesting. Yeah, good to know. So let's see. If we are Silk Scarf, can we go? Yeah, we'd be timid here. I mean, if Hunky really should. Hunky could even go Adamant Urshifu, but I think we don't risk that. I think we just make sure we're faster than Urshifu here. I want to check Moltres because I think I've actually built with Hunky in one of his games, or maybe it was someone else on the channel, but it was a Moltres versus a Valiant, and usually in this scenario, like you want the Moltres to be Spadef because you want it to take the Thunderbolt. Physical Valiant doesn't really do too much to Moltres anyway, so I think if Moltres comes, it might be Spadef here for the Valiant. I mean, he has a couple of different checks. So I mean, if he wants, he can literally use Arbok for Valiant, like just to pivot into it. I mean, or just Metagross with like a Colbur Berry or something. Like he has got a couple of different options for initial pivots into Valiant. But I wanted to make sure that Zoroark can actually do enough to Moltres, so it can't just roost on you. Okay, so it does a solid chunk. Let me look at Zoroark's movesets though real quick. Does it get like Encore, any sort of disruption, anything?
I believe it gets Encore. It gets Taunt. I don't know if it gets Encore.
Yeah, it doesn't get Encore. It does get Taunt, yeah. It does get Trick too. Okay. Yeah, so it might be worth just like if you let's say you do Hyper Voice into his pivot and you see you don't two-shot, it could be worth to taunt him. Obviously, if you slow U-turns, that's a bit unfortunate because it'll break the thing or whatever. But then at least you keep the Moltres low anyway for next time, so that's not really a big deal. So Moltres is the one thing I think they can take too. What about like Ursaring? I don't even know if Ursaring's gonna come. Probably not, but. Yeah, I guess max HP like Eviolite would take too, but again, that's not a big deal. So
I'd be a little surprised with Ursaring. Maybe not. Maybe I'm just thinking with Hands and Valiant that.
Yeah, I don't.
Maybe not, but
no, I don't think it's gonna come. It shouldn't come. Your two best Pokemon are fighters, so. So we're gonna want these two moves. Obviously, Taunt is nice. U-turn is nice in case you don't kill something with two shots. Plot. I'm not a fan of Plot just because he has a lot of priority. He's got a lot of priority. Holy shit. Thunderclap, Jet, Shard, Glide, Bullet Punch, Shard. What the hell? Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So, yeah.
What about like Wisp or something? Does that seem like a spot here with all the physical attackers?
Let's see. I don't know about Wisp because I think I feel like
versus, I'm just trying to do damage.
Yeah, exactly. I feel like it's probably better just to hit those guys. You're not gonna Wisp like Moltres or something. I feel like this last slot is really could be anything. I don't think Plot is an option because again he has a lot of ways to just revenge you anyway with priority. So something that could come into play is sub perhaps just to sub on Thunderclap. That's
I like that. I was just gonna say that.
Like that. Sub on Thunderclap, or the other one would just be U-turn. I think that's probably it though.
Yeah, I think either one makes sense.
Yeah. Yeah, it's one of those two. I mean, sub is probably again. I would not really click. You can click sub, but realistically,
I think the only time I would do that probably is if I'm in a spot where like Bolt is low or something.
Yeah,
I know that it's gonna probably clap. Like if he's just gonna sack it or something. But
or maybe if like I don't know, Clefairy shows up or something.
Sure.
You can sub on that guy because I don't think he can break your. With Moonblast won't break your sub, I don't think, right? Actually, I don't know. I have no idea. Oh wait, yes it does. What am I saying?
Yeah, Zoroark has like no.
Never mind.
Defense whatsoever. It dies to a strong wind. So.
Okay. Well, okay. The thing is, if Clefairy's probably gonna have some sort of like T-Wave or something, or he could just be knocked. But you could sub to Scout, or you can just hit him. It's up to you. But yeah, Clefairy is actually a bit annoying. At least you do have actually Taunt though. You could also just Shrap Taunt it. I didn't even think of that. So, but yeah,
Yeah.
I would probably realistically save sub just for the clap.
Like that.
Yeah, so let's go. What are we creeping? Urshifu? Raid 22, I think? I forget.
I want to say it's like 328 or.
22, yeah. Okay.
But it's 322. Okay.
Yeah. I mean, all of its stats are low as hell, so I don't think it actually really matters. What, you put your HP in here?
Yeah.
Realistically, this guy's not taking a hit.
Yeah.
So we'll leave this guy for now. So yeah, I'm thinking Valiant Hands, Stoice. If we don't bring Crown, I mean Crown speed is so good here. Shaman, how does Shaman do? Some Moltres. Does get Ancient Power though. It's the Ice Shard guy. I mean, even Skarmory though, like we said, there's so many physical attackers. Skarmory's not bad.
And even like, I mean, I guess Alcremie can like Terra, but at least we're like resisting stab with that thing.
Yeah.
Resisting Dracos.
Yeah. There's actually, I kind of want to bring like a lot of guys here besides that. I think Shaman is unfortunately not the greatest here.
Yeah.
With Weavile, Moltres, Bolt.
I agree.
But everything else seems like not bad. Like even like Rotom isn't terrible here, I don't think. Well, let's see. What do we want to do? Do we want... Yeah, maybe like out of hand Stoice Skarm. Like we bench one of these guys. Does he have hazards? What does he have? No.
He doesn't have a ton. He's got a few
rocks.
rockers.
Yeah,
I mean, I don't know. He has more than me because I don't have a lot, but he has a few rockers and then he has T-Spikes on Arbok. That's it.
Yeah, and his only removal is Spin, right? He doesn't have Defog.
Yeah.
We could go Skarm and go like a Spike angle here, actually. Spikes hits everything besides Moltres.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't mind that.
Yeah.
And even... Yeah, I like that.
Okay, let's throw Skarm. Maybe we don't need Blastoise here. Maybe we just use Hands and Skarm. Because Blastoise is nice for Spin, obviously, but... Again, he only has rocks. It's not like he can... Or I guess Toxic Spike, too. Oh, you don't have a Poison type. Ooh.
Yeah.
Okay, that could be a thing. I think he has brought Arbok at least once or twice, too. I think I've seen his games. He could try to T-Spike you.
Yeah, I had Muck on the team originally, but I just really wanted a better spinner. So I had to make some room to get Stoice in here.
Okay. Yeah, let's do Skarm for now. Do we just literally go rocks? We can literally just do rock spikes.
You thinking 0 attacks? Or are you thinking 1 attack with
maybe 1 attack with Roost, probably like body press. So like yeah, you kind of get walled by Moltres, but ideally we have a switch into Moltres, so it's okay.
Yeah.
Because if he brings in Moltres on our like hazard, that's fine. Like he can't get rid of the hazard, so
yeah.
And then if he switches it, then yeah, maybe we bring like
Whirlwind works on a Creamy, right? I know it can't be like taunted, but you can Whirlwind it.
It should work. Yeah, it should work. Yeah. Dude, I kind of like Rotom. Seems not bad here though too. Like, what beats Rotom on their team besides obviously the Urshifu? Like, not much. Not much. A Bolt can do a lot to it for sure.
Yeah, I mean, it looks good into quite a few.
Yeah. I think we go Skarm Rotom here. Skarm Rotom Valiant Hands. Last
what kind of Rotom set are you thinking?
I'm just thinking like a bulky, like it's just a bulky set, nothing, not like offensive or anything. Not like, I don't think Trick Scarf is ideal here. No, I just think like Boots is good because if we bring Skarm Rotom, I don't think we're bringing Stoice, so we won't have removal. So, but you can literally throw it in versus that Moltres that will probably switch into Skarmory. If Moltres doesn't come, the switch into Skarmory has to be like like Bolt. Like Bolt
Yeah.
doesn't want to take a body press. You know, I'm thinking body press as the one move if we do bring it.
Yeah.
Like yeah.
I
So
agree.
I think and again, I think he might bring it for the Valiant. So I think Moltres has to come. So like Rotom is like literally really. Does Moltres get like Ancient Power or something? Probably does, right?
I don't know.
I don't know if
I
he'll
don't get
run it.
Scorching Sands. I don't think it's Ancient Power. It probably does.
Yeah, it does. I don't know if he'll run it, but regardless, I think we still
I can't, unless it's offensive. Does it? I mean, how much is that doing? I feel like that
to
wouldn't do that.
Rotom. Probably not too much to max
Yeah.
HP Rotom. I mean, Moltres has high special attack. It's got like 125.
That's
I
true.
think, right? Yeah. So, but I mean, it's not stab. It's only 60 base power, so it's not like. Yeah, it does about a third if we're max HP. If he's not invested. If he's invested, it could do a decent chunk. But I mean, if he's invested, that's fine. He's gonna take more damage from our other hits then, so it's okay.
For sure. Yeah.
So yeah, I was thinking like Stealth Rock, Spikes, Body Press, Roost. You could go Helmet here. I think. I mean, Helmet could work because I think you're gonna get knocked off anyway. So you might get something. I do think the Urshifu will probably be. It might not be pads. I mean, he should probably expect Scarm to be Helmet. So if I'm him, I would probably bring like pads or Punching Glove or whatever.
Yep.
But I think the Helmet could be good. Does Bandit Urshifu two-shot you? I don't think so, right? Max Fizz Def
Bandit
Scarm.
Urshifu is crazy, man. It probably does.
Ooh, it
That
does
thing
actually.
is nuts.
Dang, that's actually hella strong. Oh wait, that's.
Yep.
What about Surging Strikes? That's what I want to check.
Should be about the same as Wicked Blow.
Oh yeah, so we could make
But at least
this...
if it's Surging Strikes though, like
yeah, he's killing himself.
if we do Helmet, it's almost dead.
Yeah, I mean it will die to like 3 hits. Yeah. We could make this guy Citrus though if you want. So.
Yeah. I remember playing a Banded Urshifu once and running Rocky Helmet, and it did take 6 hits, so I think it does work with the if you round it a certain way or whatever.
Yeah, it should die in 6 helmets. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, and I guess if he is like Punching Glove, like he doesn't take the helmet, but then he doesn't two-shot you, I guess. So that's fine. You could just Roost. I mean, he could technically like SD on your Roost, but I think that's okay. You could also just be like Citrus Berry if you want to be safe. I guess if it gets knocked off by Weavile, like you don't get the helmet chip, but I don't think that's really a huge deal.
The thing is, I guess if Valiant's alive, I mean, we don't, depending on what our set is, unless he's like Chopple or EV, Vacuum Wave just one-shots that thing.
Yeah, it should. Yeah.
So, especially if we're like Life Orb or something.
Yeah, I agree.
I think I calced like Life Orb with a 0 bulk, so it's like 150% or something.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm trying to think what's the best helmet or... I mean, it's probably just between helmet or citrus. It's probably just helmet, just in case maybe he brings like Scarf or Shifu or something, and he just U-turns. At least you get some chip.
Yeah.
I think helmet's probably the play here.
I like it just to make sure that he kind of can't get away with Bandit, I guess.
Yeah, I guess if he's sword... But if he's Sword Stances, then he's not... He doesn't two-shot you, right? Yeah, no. Unless he's like... Sword Stance Life Orb would be crazy, but even that's kind of a roll.
Yeah,
so.
I can't.
But I don't think he would be... First of all, I don't think
Punching Glove +2 plus rocks. That...
You'd be at 88, maybe. So I mean it's close. I don't know if he's even going to be Adamant here though. He could be like he probably will be because I don't think he's going to expect like Rotom to be super fast. But we can make Rotom like actually max speed to outspeed this guy, and then we would outpace an Adamant Urshifu if he is Adamant. So we could do that with Rotom to catch him off guard. I don't know if he's going to have. I don't think he would have Aqua Jet in this. He could have Aqua Jet actually. He might. Depends. Because what he needs. Well, he needs an ice move too.
Yeah. Yeah. Otherwise, Dragonite just kind of sets up.
Yeah. So he might just be Jet 3 attacks. If he's like set up like SD or bulk up, he's probably not gonna have Jet. I don't know. That's weird.
Because I don't think he. Yeah, because of Dragon, I don't think he can be like ST Trailblaze or something.
No. Yeah, exactly. Unless he just wants to be like SD Trailblaze Jet water move, but then like he doesn't do anything to Shaman. Yeah, I don't know. It's tough. I don't think he can be. I think he has to have ice move, so he's probably just gonna be 4 attacks or just 3 attacks with no Jet. I think.
Yeah.
Do we want any speed on Skarm? Metagross. We could put like
Maybe
8 or
just
12 or something.
Yeah.
Yeah, in case he doesn't put speed on Metagross. But other than that, it's just a max Fist F Skarm, I think.
Yeah, I like that.
Okay. So this is probably, I think Skarmory is probably a solid lead too, because even if he leads like Bolt, which would be like the one bad thing, or I guess Moltres if he brings it, at least you get to find out immediately if he is like Booster or something. So
Yeah.
and if he leads anything else that's favorable, it's good for you. So.
Maybe we talk about this at the end. I don't know if you want to talk about it or not, but so when I picked up Skarmory, I wasn't really planning on making it a Terra Captain, but I had points and it didn't cost anything. And
yeah.
I didn't have any more transactions, so I was like, well, I'll just let it, because it was like either no one does or it does. So sure.
Yeah.
I don't think I'm terroring it this game. Do we just like have it be ground just to like maybe scare it into not clicking Thunderbolt or something? I don't know.
So again, we're gonna have probably our pivot, whatever it is, into this guy. I mean, yeah, realistically, we're not tearing Skarm.
We can come back to that later too. I was just thinking, just curious.
Yeah. I mean, yeah. I think if we're gonna just bluff a type, it's probably best to be ground. Yeah, because ground or like, does fire move? Is there any typing that helps against a fire move potentially? We don't want to go water here. Well, water could be. I mean, water could be a
okay
thing
for
like
Urshifu. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, again, ideally we're not staying in anyway versus this guy unless we switch, unless we're sacking it. So water could be an interesting to kind of just scare this guy from clicking, surging, and again maybe scare Moltres from not clicking fire move. I'm not sure, but regardless, yeah, we're gonna do a typing that bluffs it. Yeah, well, I'm sure we'll think of it later too. Okay. So this Rotom. So I'm kind of thinking like the Rotom, the spread I was saying with Crown, but it might be the Rotom spread instead, which is like the max HP, max speed here. With like Pain Split boots, just again it could switch into a lot of his physical attackers here. So besides Urshifu, obviously, but literally Weavile, Rillaboom, Metagross, Moltres, like Donphan, it's really good into all those. So.
Is this like almost all the priority too? Which is cool.
Yeah, exactly. Yep. Let's see, what do we want here? We definitely want Overheat. Overheat, Volt. Overheat, Volt. We want Pain Split probably. Willow is also nice. He doesn't have a Willow. He does have a Willow immunity, but he's not bringing in Moltres.
Yeah, he's not going to want to switch in Moltres to Rotom.
Yeah, so you're probably going to be burning either Raging Bolt or maybe like an Alchemy or something if it comes. Maybe Ursaring, which would suck, but that's still fine. It's some chip.
Yeah, I think realistically, like Raging Bolt might be maybe not as immediate switching, but one of his better switch-ins, because
yeah, for sure.
Like Rotom threatens everything else with either a burn or a lot of damage.
I do like. You could also do something like. Does this thing get Nightshade? It does, right? Does Raging Bolt have over? Oh, never mind. It won't break this up. Never mind. Okay, it's got too much HP. I was gonna say because this is kind of sub fodder for Bolt.
Sure.
If he doesn't Terra, like its normal types resist us. So, but we'll just have to cut. We'll just have to have like a Volt switch into something kind of plan for it if that does happen. Another thing we could also do is we could just have the light screen in front of it.
Yeah, I like that a lot actually.
Yeah, we'd probably have to just light screen and then Volt into something.
I like the light screen a lot, just for the simple fact that I feel like we've got good physical defense switch-ins.
Yeah, you would
Getting a
realistically
screen up, I feel like it's a lot of value.
Yeah, you would only click it probably versus like when the Raging Bolt is in.
Yeah.
Because other than that, if you could just ideally just volt switch as he brings it in, and then you could just go into something else like Valiant or whatever. But yeah, so probably just this, and then maybe like Pain Split. Pain Split. It could be Plot in case you do like overheat, so you can get back up to neutral. So like something like, what is it, Alchemy can't just like set up on you. You can technically plot over and over, then just overheat it. Yeah, I'm thinking maybe plot here. Again, I don't necessarily think you need to click plot, but just to have it could be nice. I don't think having no Will-O-Wisp is the end of the world here. Because again, ideally he's not gonna go into, he shouldn't go into something that will take a burn anyway. So I think this is okay. Sure. So like, let's say you overheat and kill something. I guess he brings in Bolt. I think you just light screen into Volt Switch to something. It depends. It depends what he clicks, if he attacks or calm minds or whatever. But it's just so you don't just get swept by that guy if you're at -2 and he brings it in.
For sure. Yeah, at least if we get the screen up, like if he calm minds twice, I mean it's neutral essentially. So
yeah, and this, for what it's worth, this does give you something that basically doesn't let like Rillaboom or something sweep you with, like, if we start setting up and Skarmory dies, you're always faster than Rillaboom, so unless he's scarfed. So okay. Yeah, so this is solid. We have some momentum. So Hands Valiant I think has to come. What's the last slot? Dragonite. There's a Weavile. But you have E-Speed at 2. I forgot E-Speed's faster.
Yeah, his only normal resist to is
the Metagross, right?
Metagross.
Yeah. How much does +1 E-Speed do to Weavile?
Good bit.
Oh, yeah, about a third. Or 3/4 rather. Can you go Adamant Dragonite here? Do you outspeed? Yeah, you do outspeed everything at +1.
It would really just be, do I value outspeeding the Bolt? Like if Bolt kills something, I mean it depends on like its terror or something, but like would I be able to pressure a kill on Bolt if it just killed something? Yeah. Because if I'm Adamant, that could be. I can't imagine he's gonna be super fast. But
right. It's kind of. I'm looking at his team though. Like obviously E-Speed makes a ton of sense, and then you obviously need probably Earthquake for the E-Speed resist. After that, I'm not quite sure what the other. If you're DD, like what the last move would be. Like it could just be straight up Outrage.
Yeah. The only thing that so this was actually one of the couple ones. I didn't look a ton at this in prep, but one of the ones I did was at Dragonite. The only thing I was thinking was that with Rillaboom being there, but if it's with the EQ, just like being mitigated, but if it's gone, I mean,
yeah,
you
could do Fire Punch too if you want. If you're a little bit nervous of that, it's a little bit weaker, obviously, but it is still there. I don't think the Metagross is going to be Aqua Berry. There's a chance it could be. Wait, you don't have a ground type?
No.
You don't have a.
Nope. Again, so I had Gastrodon on this team, and I just I hated it. It's just like every time I tried to like use it, it was just awful. And I was like, well, oh.
Okay, so he's not gonna be Shuckaberry then, that's for sure.
No.
Oh wow. Okay. So
that's why I don't have a ground type, just to make sure they don't run Shuckaberry. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Oh my god. Okay, so he might see that and just go like Terra Electric Bolt here maybe if he wants. I mean, you have electric resist, but or he could just honestly maybe he just like Scarf Volt switching around because you can't stop it. Yeah. Scarf Terra Electric Volt switch could be pretty annoying to deal.
That's true.
Okay.
Yeah, the more I look at it, I think the more that's probably what I would do if I was in his spot.
Yeah, I think that's what I would do too. Just Scarf, Volt Switch into like Bandit or just offensive Urshifu. I think is pretty good. Okay, so the Scarf Bolt, yeah, it does outspeed everything. Well, I guess as long as we can get some hazards up, I still don't think that's the end of the world because again we have
At
the
least
Rotom.
punishing every time he does it.
Yeah, and we have the Rotom, so we shouldn't just straight up pick one. And if you like, let's say he just drops a Draco on your Rotom, I think you live one, and then you can literally just Pain Spit all the way back. Oh, just kidding, we don't have Pain Spit.
If we run it.
Yeah, if we do run it. Let me see how much it does. How much Curious Draco to Rotom. Yeah, if he's Terra Electric, I would think Scarf immediately, but we'll see. Draco. This is Booster. Yeah, so if we did have Paint Split, that would be nice. If we would run Paint Split, we'd have to take off one of these. But like, if you switch in a hit, let's say he just Calm Minds it instead. That's like,
Yeah.
if we take off Light Screen, for example, like that's so much worse because then he just kills you.
I personally like Light Screen more than I like Plot, I think. But
Yeah. Okay, do you want to take off Plot then? I'm cool with again, the Plot was just there so you're not just like set up fodder for something, but
for sure.
if you have other stuff alive, it should still be okay.
I feel like I can picture scenarios where I can get a Paint Split off in this fight. But
yeah, I agree. I can see that. Okay. Let's do Hands here. I think Hands is the next guy. So yeah, I think it's gonna be Terra Electric or Ghost, like you said. I'm trying to think what Terras do we want on Hands here. How does he kill Hands? I mean, he needs Bolt to do a big chunk to it, I think. I guess Donphan can be Fizz Def.
yeah, I feel like the reason the one positive thing if he goes Terra Electric is I feel like if I can get a clean spot, just a like Fizz Def, like booster defense Hands that just clicks SD once.
Yes. Yeah.
I feel like looks really terrifying.
Yeah, I don't. You might not even need booster defense. Booster defense.
Yeah,
I'm
just
thinking,
even just a bulky one. It could run like Lum or something.
Yeah, I
or
was literally just gonna say Lumberry. I think
for
it's-
Wisp.
Yep, I think Lum is solid. As long as you can just make sure +2 like Thunder Punch kills Moltres, which it probably will if we have some attack.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm thinking you literally bring this guy and you Surzans on his whatever switch in, and then you literally just T-Punch or Drain Punch, and there's not much you can do about it. What is his? Yeah. How much does Raging Bolt do to Hands? If we... This isn't booster.
That's what's some Spadef though. That's what 172.
Yeah, I mean...
But realistically, like, well, I guess it'll be faster than me, but I was going to say that I'm not going to be obviously setting up in front of it, but it's probably could be what he brings in after, especially depending on the Terra.
Yeah, I'm trying to think what type we want. Like, maybe we could do, like... not Terra Steel, no.
How much does Metagross do to us if we're like Terra Fairy?
Yeah, that's what I was thinking of Terra Fairy, but then Metagross obviously can do a solid chunk. I mean, it's only 40 base power, so maybe not that much actually. This is no Bolt.
What other? I'm trying to think of what other steel moves it gets if it didn't run like.
I mean, I guess Iron Head.
Yeah.
Yeah, Terra Fairy is nice because then again it does take out Bolt's strongest attack, which would be the Draco, too. And then, I mean, you're only weak to his poison type Arbok, so that's not really a concern.
Yeah.
So, and yeah, I mean, I think it is probably a fairy angle here, actually.
My thought is like, the special threats are the ones that I like. If I'm going a defensive Terra option, special threats are what I'm worried about. So that thing is just so stupidly physically bulky that
Yeah, it doesn't matter.
I don't know.
Yeah. No, I think it is fair here though. Yeah, I think we probably do invest some SPDF though, but
Yeah,
like I don't think we really need to put attack is the thing here because
I agree.
Technically,
I agree.
+2 drain punch should be healing back more than whatever something is doing to you. You can literally just be Swords Dance, T punch, drain punch. The last slot you could run something like Heavy Slam just to cover for like a setup, Alchemy or Terra Fairy Bolt or something. I don't really necessarily see another. It could be Earthquake if you want to hit like Metagross a little bit harder. There's terrain there though. I don't think you want like Volt Switch or anything crazy here.
No, I feel like if I'm bringing hands in, I'm gonna try and do damage, especially because if Donphan is one of the, I don't know if it's a switch in, but you know what I mean, like one of the mods that take a hit, like Volt Switch is not gonna.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm thinking. Sorry if you can hear my dog, by the way.
I get that, man.
Yeah.
My dog is very loud. So.
Literally. I mean, you could also tack on like Facade, but I think just a Lumberry is probably just straight up better. You'll literally get rid of the Moltres in one turn. So, how much does Moltres take if he's max Fizdef? Yeah, he should die anyway with no event spent.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I mean, I think this last slot probably is just Heavy Slam, I think. Like, having something just to... because, I mean, set up Alchemy, it might come, I don't really know, but I don't really see the need for another move here, I don't think. Right? Like...
Yeah, I mean, if it's...
I'm
just looking if it's like Fizdef, Alchemy, EQ, or Thunder Punch is doing... I mean, yeah, it depends on its Terra type.
Yeah. You could run like Iron Defense if you want, but I don't even think that's necessary. Let's see. SD, T-Punch. Drain Punch. What? Yeah, I don't know what he's going to really have to stop you. Again, he could be running... I guess the Lumberry could also work versus the Toxic Spike. Again, if he brings Arbok. I could see that coming. If he brings Arbok, I think he might just straight up lead with it to get up to Spike. So you might want to lead something that prevents that. Maybe like this guy and just taunt. I doubt he's going to just straight up just... Like, you could disguise that as Skarmory and just taunt it. And he's not going to poison move you, right? You know? So... Yeah,
I like that. Can lead Skarm in pretty much any situation unless I see Arbok and then just stop that down.
So, yeah, I'm not really sure. Do you have any like thoughts for this last move? Fake Out? I don't
know. I don't really. I'm just trying to think if there's any other Terra that like Bolt can go that kind of shuts this down. But I don't know.
Yeah, I think Electric Fighting there's not really much that stops both.
Yeah.
There's like, I mean, maybe Sub can be a thing. No, I don't think so.
Yeah, I'm not sure. No, it's Sub like, over like
maybe CC to like one-shot something instead.
That's true. That's fair. Yeah, I don't mind that.
Like, let's check like versus like Urshifu or something. Well, you have Thunder Punch. That's gonna die. What about like Rillaboom? Drain Punch versus Close Combat. Yeah, I mean that could be a thing. Like CC will kill it for sure if you want to. You are lowering your defenses if you do that, but it would just be to make sure you kill something, I guess.
Yeah.
Or like versus like Metagross maybe.
What about
but again, you could just Drain Punch versus Metagross.
What about Donphan? I think it actually takes a Drain Punch. Okay.
Yeah, if it's like Fizdef, it'll take. You could, if you like Swords Dance and then he brings in Donphan, you could like Drain Punch into CC to kill.
Yeah.
We're probably gonna put a little bit of speed because it is a speed tie here too.
Yeah.
I'm going first.
I mean, at the end of the day, too, though, if I'm tearing, it's not like it's doing crazy damage back to me.
Oh, that's true as well.
Too,
yeah,
so.
If you're Terra Fairy, yeah.
Yeah, I don't
So
know.
yeah, I think it's CC or Heavy Slime, man. Up to you. I don't think there's a right answer. I guess like Heavy Slime could help versus like Clefairy too. I don't know. Clefairy. It doesn't get unaware, right? It just gets oh, it only has Magic Guard, I
Yeah, it
think.
gets. Yeah.
But not not unaware, so
Friend Guard's not doing any favors
no.
in singles.
Yeah. It's up to you. I mean, I guess CC could also be stronger into Bolt if you want. If you just take one hit and just kill it, like do as much damage.
Yeah.
You would CC the Bolt, so you could run double fighting here. I think that's okay.
Yeah, I'm good with that.
All right, cool.
I guess if I think of something else, I can change it, but I don't know what other move I'm gonna click.
Yeah, I got you. Let's put a little bit of speed again, just for Donphan. We could put enough to outspeed like in-speed Ursaring if you think that guy comes, but that's up to you. I'm not really too sure. I think again, because your two guys are fighters, I don't think it should come.
Yeah, I'm not famous last words, but I'm really not worried about the Ursaring. I'm okay disrespecting it.
Yeah, I mean, maybe he's scared of Zoroark just spamming Ghosts, because if
Yeah.
no Ursaring comes, then I guess the only Ghost resist is this guy.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I think we're okay.
Yeah,
to
if anything, the speed would just be to creep a Donphan trying to catch me not creeping.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. So,
but I'm not really worried about him.
Okay. Yeah, I don't think we need attack investment, as we saw. I do think Adamant is probably still the play, just because the attack is so high. But I want to check versus... What was that guy? Metagross. Real quick. Explosion is crazy. Yeah, so if you Terra Fairy, even with no bulk, he's not doing anything too, actually. Okay, that doesn't matter. Donphan, how much does Donphan do to you with no bulk? Because we might literally not even need much defense either, but defense is nice for Urshifu for sure. Yeah, this is, I mean, this is invested Adamant. That's still not doing too much. Urshifu was the big one. Bandit Urshifu. Okay.
He's a scary fella.
Yeah, I think we want to make sure we can live 1+2 hit is the ideal scenario, which again, we shouldn't need much. Maybe if he's like Punching Glove. We want to make sure we live this, I think, for sure. Maybe after a rock too, because he doesn't have spikes. Yeah. So let's see. So this would ensure we live after a rock, +2 Adamant, Punching Glove, Surging. And then you can either, you probably just Thunder Punch him, obviously, to do as much damage if it comes to it.
Yeah.
So 208. What else? Probably with Spadef for Bolt, right? Let's just say he is booster. Oh, but we're Terra Fairy, huh? So, I mean, I don't know if this calc would come into play, but...
Yeah, like booster after like a Calm Mind.
Calm Mind booster special attack, yeah, you would live right here for like 180.
Yeah.
Spadef.
I feel like... yeah, I mean, it's cool to have that. I don't know whether it could play either. I guess if it's feeling bold to come into Calm Mind in front of hands, but...
Yeah, or maybe he just killed something else and you need something to live a hit. Like, I don't know.
Yeah.
And Rotom's dead, you can't on the screen. So, again, I don't necessarily think we need much attack anyway. So it's like, we have the EVs, we might as well just use them. Are there any roles where we might need some attack? What would be the roles? What would we want to make sure we can kill? Let's Alchemy real quick. If Alchemy is like set up, yeah, it's gonna be defensive, I think. But after a +2, I guess if he's like Acid Armor, it's annoying, but Would he be the Acid Armor Calm Mindset? It would be like that, plus Draining Kiss, plus Recover.
Run, could run Whirlwind instead of CC.
Yeah, or again, just like, well, yeah, I guess Whirlwind would work, yeah. I was going to say Heavy Slam, but yeah, he could Terra, I forgot. Not Terraring Bolt would be insane, but I think he could.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah, I'm not really sure.
What would his... I don't even know what his thing would be. Like, Terra Poison or Terra...
I think it'd be Tear Ghost.
Yeah, you're
if
right.
anything.
It would be Terra Ghost. I think so, too. Yeah. Yeah, so I guess we would have to Whirlwind that. Yeah, I'm pretty sure it works versus... I'm like 99% sure.
I think it just says Taunt.
Yeah.
Yeah. It specifically calls out moves, so I'm sure that works.
Okay. What do you think? Do you want Whirlwind just to be super safe versus Alchemy?
It feels so... I like never pictured a situation where I would run Whirlwind on hands, but I really don't know what other move I need here. Because if it is like a Terra Ghost thing, I mean, I don't have a move to hit it better really than Thunder Punch anyway.
Right. Yeah. And I mean, Whirlwind is nice. It's not like a permanent solution because of his last mon, you can't do it. But at least if he does start doing that, like, and then you Whirlwind, like, you know what set it is, so you can kind of position better after.
Yeah.
If you want Whirlwind. So, do you plan on doing Mox or no?
I very rarely mock.
Okay.
It's not that I don't want to. I guess I typically haven't. But
yeah. All right. Yeah. Let's go. No problem. I don't really do mocks for leagues, to be honest, but I encourage everyone to do mocks if you can. So it does help.
Yeah, I've done them in the past for like playoff matches.
Yeah.
But I haven't really during the regular season. But obviously being 1 and 3, it's kind of playoff mode. So
literally, right? Okay, let me check Rillaboom real quick. Yeah, Banded Rillaboom would be something, but again, you have a Scarm, so I don't think, and a Rotom, so I don't think that's, and a Dragonite.
Yeah.
I honestly don't think we need this anywhere else. So in this situation, I would probably just like max out your defenses, and it's kind of like a weird set, like if you would just go something like this, but
yeah,
I don't think we necessarily need attack. So I think
I'm cool with that.
Would be okay. Yeah. I might look some of the calcs later, like after we're done, and like I'll message you or anything if I think of something else. But I think for now this is okay. What day are you playing him, by the way? Do you know? Or you don't know yet?
Are we scheduled for Friday? I'm trying to remember. Actually, I don't think he got back to me yet, so I'm not sure what day.
Okay, all right. But yeah, so throughout the week I might look more into this, but it's kind of like a weird spread here, but. I think it's okay.
I know obviously he has like a ludicrous HP stat.
Yes.
Yes. Since we are doing both defenses, at what like threshold does it start becoming beneficial to throw into HP over one of those? Because I could be misremembering this. I remember, so I used to play a lot more VGC than I played singles, and I know that the suggestion was kind of like a 2-to-1 ratio. But I don't know how exactly that works.
So, I think
other than just tweaking it in the calc.
Yeah, no, I think so. In this scenario, why I think we're doing both is because, basically we expect to take hits from both sides of the attacks in this game.
Right.
He really needs Bolt to hit us to chunk us. Everything else doesn't really do much to us, and because his team is so physically oriented, I think that we want as much defense. The reason why I'm not putting into HP is because, and you could go into the calc and look at this with hands later or anything, but if I would do something like, let's say I do this, and then I put HP, right? This calc from a special calc is not going to be changing much because we already have the max HP in this, but because our HP stat is so high, this doesn't actually drastically change the rolls much. Whereas if you would do something and then again you look at this spread 100 and 152, whereas if you do something like this, again, if you take Earthquake Landorus, for example, you're gonna
Yeah.
live it way better with this as opposed to like the 100 HP and 152 in defense. So the only time where I would like put HP into something like this or Aloe, Momola, or Blissey, something with a crazy high HP, is if you really just don't expect to be taking any hits from one of the sides. Yeah.
Gotcha.
But if you just look at the calcs by changing the HP around, like you're gonna see putting HP EVs is not gonna actually really change much because his
Sure.
HP stat is so high already. But it's kind of hard to explain. But again, it's just kind of you'll see it if you like look in the calc more. So
Sure.
but it is.
I understand like the general concept. I just didn't know if there was like a, kind of like a mathematical ratio where it says, once you have, this percentage defense to HP, it's more beneficial to put HP in, or
Yeah,
that kind of makes sense.
Yeah, I don't think so though. I don't think so. I think it's just more so you generally just want to buff up the stats that are not as high. Yeah, pretty much.
Gotcha.
Cool. So this type of stat I think would be probably our win condition. I think just because it's very hard for him to kill, and Swords Dance, you should be able to Swords Dance on quite a bit on this team. Obviously, you don't want to Swords Dance on like Urshifu because that is something that could potentially two-shot you. But something like Weavile or Metagross or Donphan or whatever, once you Terra, like they can't really do much damage to you. I think is very easy to Swords Dance on. So okay, let's do Big Val and then our other slot. So again, our other slot is what? D-Knight, Crown, or Stoice. What about? Yeah, again, Shell Smash Stoice just isn't a thing because of the priority.
Yeah.
Offensive Crown could be solid too, since we have the Rotom for Bolt now. Like if we're just offensive Crown, because again, it's faster than everything besides Weavile, and then if we just tuck on a Colbur Berry, then what does Weavile do to us too? So
yeah, it's similar to Rotom. It resists the majority of the priority.
Yeah, so that could also be a thing too. Just Crown here. Let me look at Crown's moves real quick. Yeah, they can only hit Metagross with like Focus Blast, right?
Yeah, Metagross is definitely
the switch
issue, but
I mean, like, you have switch into Metagross. It's not really a concern. Right. These two guys both handle it right well. And you'd probably have Volt Switch anyway. Like you could probably just be like Volt Switch, Calm Mind, Stab. I think would be fine here.
Okay.
Or yeah, that's probably all you need, honestly. Volt Switch, Calm Mind, Stab with Colbur Berry, I think would be the set here on first glance.
Yeah. And we kind of just don't Calm Mind unless like Metagross is out of the way.
Yeah, exactly. You just attack like Tachyon
into
our
damage, switch into it, and
you'll chip it down.
Sure.
And again, that's really good for your normal like switch into. So Metagross chip means Hyper Voice is very spammable. So yeah, let's just throw that set on right away. Why not? Sounds good. Let's see. Tachyon. Do we want Psy Shock or Psy Kick here? Let's see. What's Urshifu's defenses? Wrong.
He's definitely more especially weak.
Yeah, so that would be Psychic, huh? Oh yeah, for sure. Bad. Okay. Yeah, we probably want Psychic then.
He's like deceptively physically bulky, but
yeah. Psychic. Oh yeah. What else would Psychic versus Psyshock matter? I mean, Moltres wouldn't really. I mean, Psyshock's not doing. Yeah, no, I think just Psychic is fine. Like, I guess if he's Calm Mind, like Psyshock would be better for Bolt. How much does Psyshock do to Urshifu? If it still does like a solid chunk, I think Psyshock is probably still okay. Yeah, I mean, it's still chunks, assuming we get some hazards up too, which is the game plan. Yeah, I just think Psyshock might just be better because of the freaking Calm Mind Bolt. How much should we do to Bolt? It does about almost 40.
It's like no bulk though. Too.
Yeah.
Which it It might
Again,
be, but
let's see. So, because again, its HP stats pretty high. Max HP, it would still do 30 minimum. He would have to put it into like defenses, and it would do like
yeah.
less. But I'm not really too sure what it is. I think he might be like scarfed or booster or the booster speed set. I like the booster speed set, but a lot of people don't like it. But
I think I think it can work. In my team, I think it's just more likely to be special. But
yeah,
that might be.
Yeah, no, you're right. So yeah, it's. So do we want Psyshock or Psychic just to one-shot Urgy Food for sure, or Psych Shock to like hit bolts a little bit harder if he's Calm Mind?
As much of a pain as Urshifu is, I'm more concerned about Raging Bolt.
Well, okay.
So I'm fine with going Psyshock.
Okay.
I guess, yeah, I think that's fine.
Just +1 Psyshock, 2-shot Moltres. Not Fizz Def. Oh, we have Volt Switch though too, huh? Okay, that's fine.
Yeah, that's a pretty free Volt.
Yeah. So we would
It's
literally
really free Volt because I mean, only thing you can really do to stop it is going to like Donphan, who just gets.
Donphan takes a lot.
Does not want to take a Tachyon Cutter.
Yeah. And again, we have so many switch-ins to Donphan. Not so many, but again, these two guys just do really good into his team. So, I think we should be able. Oh, this also helmet's also good for if he wants to spin too. At least he's hurting himself.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think with this game plan, with if you get the hazards up like intended, yeah, I think this will be okay. I'm thinking this Valiant probably does want to be booster speed or scarfed. Scarfed is probably not as good because he does have so much priority. But I just think the booster speed to have something to like outpace maybe a Scarf Bolt, booster speed Bolt, Trailblazing Urshifu, just something.
Yeah, that's fair.
Could be clutch here. Again, I don't think Scarf is it just because it is a kind of a hard move to lock in versus his team, I think.
Yep.
So maybe booster speed. So just so you have that one-time thing, just in case things get crazy. But yeah, I think it's gotta be booster speed. So you'd probably be what? Moonblast, Thunderbolt, Shadow Ball, Vacuum Wave.
Yeah. Yeah, I was just trying to figure out what the best move is for like Metagross.
Yeah, it would have to be like
Shadow Ball
or just like knockoff if you want to just have knock.
Yeah.
But again, ideally, like
we might be able to fit. It might. I mean, unless we want like bulk. If we are going booster speed, again because of his speed tiers, like we could actually have like decent spreads into both attack and special attack, probably.
Yeah, I just think Metagross is pressured by like he needs Metagross to switch into this guy. He kind of needs Metagross to switch into this guy. And then if you have hazards up plus helmet, like I just think Metagross is gonna get chipped. Even this guy, like I think Metagross is gonna be so chipped where I think we might not even need the Shadow Ball coverage. I think the only way this goes bad is if like he plays it really well and the Metagross is maybe like boots or something. But I think by the time Valiant comes in, like Metagross should be like pretty much dead.
Yeah, I'm also thinking if. Am I really going to stay in and click Shadow Ball against Metagross and just like
right, exactly, right. Yeah, you'd have to probably do it on a switch or just like, yeah, switch out.
I feel like if I'm attacking Metagross with Valiant, I'm just clicking Vacuum Wave because it's within threshold to die.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know.
I get
otherwise that's spooky. I guess that's my only concern about like booster speed is, well, I don't know. Maybe it's okay, but that would be my concern is him bringing in Metagross and me feeling like I have to swap it out and then I lose my
booster, again
but
I think the booster speed again would just be there just in case you need it to like something went wrong or like something. But technically, like I don't think you need the booster speed because again he's faster than everything regardless, and then you have Vacuum Wave, so it's not like oh my god this Valiant is ruined. Like once you bring it in and you switch it out, like no, it's still very good. You don't need the booster speed. It's just there I think just in case you need it for something like maybe unexpected.
That's fair.
So yeah, with that being said, I think you can probably honestly run Moonblast, T-Bolt, Vacuum Wave. You don't need the coverage, I don't think, for Metagross. which does free up this last slot to be something like Encore, to maybe lock Bolt into sub, Calm Mind, T-Clap. Could be Destiny Bond, could be Taunt, could be Calm Mind. There's a couple of different options here. Could be the Psychic move just in case you're scared of that Arbok, but probably not. What is his? Yeah, is again, we don't really know what his initial pivot to Valiant's gonna be. He's got a couple of different options. It could just straight up be knockoff too. You know, because if something like Clefairy or something like Moltres comes in, getting rid of the Eviolite / Boots will make it not a switch in anymore the next time. So
Sure.
there's a couple, yeah, there's definitely a couple different things. I'm leaning probably Encore or knockoff, I think, is probably the two best options here. Yeah, I don't think you need Calm Mind. You already have pretty good special attackers. So, yeah, what are you thinking?
I don't mind knock just because I'm trying to somewhat play a hazard game here. Getting rid of boots and stuff. I'm just trying to think of who's. I mean, I think there's multiple months who could be running that. I mean, Moltres especially, like, if I do get rocks up and which realistically, like, Moltres might be not the switch in, but one of the switch ins.
Yeah, it should be because it resisted stabs, and again, if he's Spadef, Thunderbolt will never two-shot it. So, but obviously, if he loses his boots, then Moonblast into T-Bolt probably kills it if it switches in. I think. So you would have to. That does mean you'd kind of have to play a bit recklessly with the Valiant. Not recklessly, but you would probably make a prediction. Like, you bring this guy in versus, like, I don't know, Urshifu or Weavile, and he should switch. You would click knockoff expecting a switch, and then if he just stays in, that's tough, you know. But it's
like shit.
Yeah, you know. So it's a bit risky for sure. You don't need to run it if you don't want to, because if you get that play wrong, like, you just lose Valiant probably.
I don't mind Encore either. Because the Bolt is definitely the mon I'm most afraid of. So yeah, if it allows me to Encore it into Calm Mind or even like Thunderclap or
I
don't know, I could definitely see that working somewhere.
Yeah.
But as we said, I also think there's totally a possibility that's just a Scarf.
Right. Right. Exactly. But again, I don't think Scarf Bolt's that bad if we get hazards up, because you're probably just gonna be throwing Rotom in versus that guy. If he Dracos, then you Pain Split. If he like just Volt switches, then fine, you don't take too much, and then he gets momentum, like probably into Urshifu, then you go Scarm, and that's why you're gonna be playing a bit reactionary if you get you in that little loop. But that's why, again, hazards up means it's okay. You're still getting chip even though you're switching around a lot. So that's fine. And again, as long as Hands is alive, like, Urshifu can't just straight up kill you. So yeah, I guess like a bulk up set could be a bit annoying. Like if you bring this guy in and Urshifu starts bulking up, because then body press obviously won't do too much. What would you do?
Do you think? Oh no, that's fine. Never mind. Disregard. I was just wondering if Stealth Rocks were necessary or if spikes are enough. But I was just curious.
What is? Oh, it's just the Moltres, huh? For rocks that spikes don't hit. Yeah, I mean, again,
I'm just thinking
Moltres
if we
be
don't
boots.
run knock, like I'd be like stunned if Moltres isn't running boots.
He really should be boots. So you're saying potentially take off this for like Whirlwind or Iron Defense or something?
Yeah, I mean it could be really nice for Weavile too if it is like, I don't know, like Bandit or Scarfed or something. But like,
yeah,
that's thinking rocks are less to Donphan, less to Metagross, less to Urshifu.
Yeah, that's yeah. I don't think his bolt's gonna be like Terra Flying or anything crazy either. So
yeah,
that's an option. I'm honestly not opposed to that.
Or even
So
like, is
yeah,
there a? Well, probably not with both alive. It would have
yeah,
to be dead. But I was wondering if there was an iron defense angle there. Yeah.
yeah. I mean, it would be Iron Defense or Whirlwind. I think would be the slot over rocks. So he can't just like bulk up on you like we said or whatever.
Yeah.
You know,
I think I'd prefer whirlwind
out of the two.
out of that. But
Yeah, no, I agree. Because then you could just yeah. I like that. I don't think you need rocks. Yeah, spikes is solid. So if you do that, then I don't think you run knockoff here either. Then if you're not running rocks,
yeah,
right? So let's
I
throw
agree.
whirlwind. So we're gonna be running double whirlwind. Okay, that's fine. So we really, if we don't get spikes up this game, then this team is probably not gonna do well. But
Yeah.
I think you should be able to get spikes up versus a decent amount of his team. So
Yeah. There's quite a few months there.
yeah, and if no Don fan comes, then they're there to stay. If Don fan does come, you switch it into Donphin anyway. So,
Yeah.
yeah. Okay, so we don't need knock here then. So now it's probably between Encore, Destiny Bond. Encore, Destiny Bond, Taunt. What would you taunt? Nah, you wouldn't really taunt anything. Encore or Destiny Bond? I don't think you're gonna really Destiny. I mean, you could Destiny Bond something.
I just don't know. I don't know what I'd be clicking into.
Like, what would you Destiny Bond versus?
Like maybe, yeah. Like if I'm low versus like,
Like, if you don't kill like Rillaboom would go first, though probably.
yeah, because Rillaboom's probably gonna glide. Like Metagross gonna bullet punch me. I have
Yeah.
Vacuum Wave for Weavile.
Yeah, so it would have to be versus
Urshifu,
like Moltres or Donphan or Alcremie probably.
right. Yeah, like I'm thinking it'd have to be we're low health or something, and it's a healthy
Yeah.
Moltres or Alchemy. Because otherwise, Moltres, like if it's below half, like Thunderbolt just
Yeah.
takes it out.
Probably Encore is solid.
If it's below.
Yeah, I think it's probably Encore here. And then you could, if you do want to play ballsy, like if you think, let's say like you get Moltres down to like 70 or something, like you could technically just stay in Thunderbolt, and if he does flying move you, yes, you will die. But if he roosts or U-turns, then you're in a great spot. If you roost, you just Encore him into it, and if he U-turns, then okay. So you could definitely get a mind game correct.
Yeah, I like that a lot.
Does
Actually.
Moltres always kill you? I want to check. It probably does, but I'm sure it actually does. What am I saying? Hurricane definitely will. Yeah. How about Brave Bird? Yeah, Brave Bird will probably kill you too. Yeah, okay. So he would have to make that play though, and then because like Rotom switching is pretty obvious, right? But you probably do go Rotom the first time, like you don't want to go too crazy, but he might think he might think
him into that.
he might think you're gonna stay in it because if you're booster speed, he might think, oh, you want to just keep the booster speed, so he might just attack you. So I think you just probably pivot Rotom, especially if it's early on in the game. Again, it's not the end of the world if you use your booster early. It's still okay. Okay. So Urshifu. So how does this work? Let's see. Okay, so we might have to, if we want to be booster speed here, this is a little...
Yeah, it's a little weird.
Yeah, we can't... So we would want to be like... Yeah, we would have to be like this, and then like bulky, which is weird, for sure. A little bit weird.
Unless we're like just scrapping EVs, but...
We would just put the EVs into like, HP or something.
Like it's unless we waste speed to get.
Oh, I see. To get higher special attack.
Higher.
Yeah, if we go like timid. Well. Oh, yeah. I see what you're saying. Yeah.
Yeah, like just even though we don't need the extra speed.
The speed, yeah, you would just do something like.
So that special attack can be higher.
Yeah. So
even like it wouldn't even have to be like even if we were still. Yeah.
Yeah, it'd be like this, right? This is like the highest you could get. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I'm cool with that. I think I don't think the bulk on Valent's gonna really matter. As far as like
unless it allows me to live like one specific hit, I don't know.
Well, we know you're not living
I'm not sure what
Moltres.
it'd be. Oh, Moltres, yeah, 100% for sure.
What about Metagross Bullet Punch? Bullet Punch. Oh, well, we don't even have anything to hit Metagross, actually, so that wouldn't matter. How much does Raging Bolt Thunderclap do? Oh, so
God, is that booster?
yeah, it is booster. Yeah, it's
Jesus,
booster.
man.
So we could probably put
I
some
mean, that is
Spadef.
0 bulk right there, but we might be able to do it.
Oh, this is minus Spadef, though, too.
Oh, yeah, okay.
Okay.
I was gonna say maybe at least we should definitely at least be able to live a
76 would mean
Thunderclap.
after rocks, we can always live it.
because if we can't click Moonblast in front of it,
Yeah.
that sucks.
So it would literally just be like that, I think.
What about did you count specs or is that just booster speed?
This
or
is just booster.
speed?
Specs, we're not going to be able to live, no.
Okay.
We could try. Let me see. Inactive, but specs. Actually, maybe. We would have to put
If we dropped the speed down to
back
have
to.
I don't know if it's worth it or not. I'm just more so curious.
Let's see. Oh wait, what am I doing? No. Timid. So then you'd have to be like this. So if we would do like that, let's say just say 220 Spadef, screw it. Yeah, we would live a specs. Specs it. Specs Thunderclap. How much? Let's check how much we're doing to them with 184. Yeah, we don't actually just kill it. What about, do we just kill Urshifu at least? Oh wait, yeah, we definitely.
Oh yeah, for sure.
That's first of all the other one, but
Yeah,
yeah,
we
it's
could
Spadef his ass, yeah.
Yeah.
How much are we doing a Rillaboom? We should still do over half or around half with hazards. Do we just still two-shot Donphan? Yep. Moltres. We're gonna be doing even less than Moltres' thing. Thunderbolt. Well, if he's Fizdef, Moltres will two-shot it, but again, I don't think he will be. That's still a decent chunk, though, honestly. Yeah, I mean, I'm cool with this, honestly. Like, if you want more Spadef here, it could help versus. I mean, it's really
I'm
just
thinking
a bolt, like, but
it's cool. I do wonder if it's worth it or not. Like, I would like to be able to live a special or a booster.
Teacup. Yeah.
But I'm thinking like if it's specs, like it probably is just Terra Electric, right? Like, and so at that point we're not living anyway.
Exactly. It should be Terra Electric. I don't know what else it would be. Like
I feel like it's
Terra
either
Ghost,
either Scarf or specs like electric, more likely Scarf, or it's something else with Ghost. I think.
Yeah.
I just don't picture anything else.
Yeah. And if he's not like Scarf though, like you can still Encore too. Yeah, I don't know. I think this is okay. I don't necessarily think you need to be max special attack or like as high special attack as possible. The Spadef really would only be for Bolt though.
Yeah, it's
like
only
it's
for
literally
Bolt, yeah.
just for Bolt.
Yeah.
I mean, I think it could be worth it still. Like, Bolt is the hardest thing to deal with. So.
Bolt is something where I might just have to try and hit it when I can.
Right, exactly. I agree. So I'm cool with this spread, honestly.
Okay. It's cool. It's unique.
Yeah. It's still gonna do the damage. Like, does Vacuum Wave still one-shot Wave Out? Surely it does, right? Like, it's 4 times. I hope. Ooh, it's close. What the hell? This is no bulk, too. And if he's creeping down to Valiant, how much bulk is he going to have? Like 76, something like that.
Yeah, I definitely want to be able to...
It'll die after a spike if he's not boots. Yeah. But we would have to be literally like max to yeah, it doesn't even guarantee kill it anyway. So I think the 184 means it dies after a spike, or helmet is okay, honestly.
Yeah.
So.
And I think I would think I mean, obviously we're booster speed. We might not have the speed boost at the time. If we have the speed boost, I don't know. Maybe he risks it with like a scarf triple axle, but
I still think you back.
I don't know that he would.
Regardless. I mean,
Yeah.
if he's full, then no. You probably do go with Moonves because I don't think it's really rare to kill him. But
yeah, I'm just thinking like if I'm him, I feel like I would be scouting for the vacuum wave almost.
You should be, and
I would want to try and see if I have it.
Yeah, I mean Scarf could be a thing, and outspeeds obviously the booster / Scarf Valiant, DDD Knight, Scarf this guy. So it could be a thing. It's just it kind of doesn't do much to Scarm if it is Scarfed, or hands even too. So yeah. It could be a thing. I wouldn't rule that out. It's a good shout, honestly. But I think it's okay. I think this is solid. You know, there's not too much momentum on this team. It's really just Rotom to get in. Zoroark is a little bit. Oh, I guess there's a Volt Switch too on this guy. We have a couple momentum grabbers.
To be honest, that's like, for me, I think one of the struggles I've had this season is just this team doesn't feel like individually. I like a lot of the pieces on this team, but and now even with some of the missing typings like Poison and Ground, like it feels like there's even more weaknesses. But yeah, there's like a lot of things that I feel like I normally have on a roster that I struggle with, like Hands and Valiant and like Dragonite. They just feel like they just stat check the other mon. They just feel like, oh, I'm just stronger than you, right? Exactly. But like if that doesn't work, then it feels like it kind of falls apart sometimes.
Yeah.
So,
but
that was one of the reasons why I really wanted Blastoise as well. Aside from Rapid Spin, is like have a little bit slower momentum because I didn't really have any of that.
Yeah.
Other than Hands, which normally, especially if I'm like Terra, I just want to click a button.
Right. Exactly. Yeah. I mean, that's the thing. Like, I didn't even notice you didn't have a ground until like halfway through this thing. So like, your team is still good. Nothing like, I don't think anything on your team like sticks out. Like, oh my god, this thing just owns you. Obviously, Terra Ghost, as you said, has been a, reoccurring thing. But yeah, I still think your team is like fine into it. Like, yeah, you don't have any. Yeah, because you don't have a dark either. Did you use all of your transactions, or you still have a couple? I'm curious.
Yeah, because I didn't realize I goofed. I used a few in grace period, but those counted.
Oh, those counted
as actual transactions. So then I had 2 left. I was thinking I had 5, but I had 2. So then I was like, well, I can only kind of do so much.
Oh, okay, I got you. Yeah. So, but yeah, like literally no dark, poison, ground. Those are all types that people say like you want. Sure. Those are, and you don't have any of those. But I still think you can win with this team. It's not like you automatically lost in the get go. So, yeah. So let's
I agree.
Let's do lead. So, yeah, I do like Zoroark disguised as Scarm here. I think that makes a lot of sense, especially like if you Volt Switch with Crown, like they bring in Metagross, you Volt Switch. If you bring in Zoroark, but like it shows Skarmory, like he could think that makes sense too, because Skarmory does make sense versus Metagross, and you could potentially just catch him off guard and just shot up all his ass and kill him. So I do like this guy. I think Skarmory is probably a solid lead though, unless you see Arbok. But let's just go over like kind of what to do. So Skarmory versus Bolt, I think it's pretty obvious. You just have to pivot into Rotom. Don't really think about it. Obviously you could take note of his Terra type. Maybe he goes like Terra like Water or something here. That could be a little like interesting. Does Terra Water Terra Blast just straight up OHKO your ass? Maybe. Let's see.
Probably Bolt is
Water. What am I doing?
Pokemon of all time.
Terra Blast. I don't know if it'll be Terra Water though, but it's an option, I suppose.
I guess yeah.
Oh, good news for you. It doesn't actually. Oh wait, that's the wrong Pokemon. That is the wrong Pokemon. Yeah, it will one-shot your ass.
Yeah.
What about if he's not booster? Still a good chance.
I'll get the roll. It's fine.
Yeah. If he shows Terra Water, the thing is he could very easily just Volt Switch though versus you. Like.
Yeah.
Maybe we don't lead Scarm then, because that is kind of annoying. If he just gets the momentum initially, you don't get your hazards up.
The one thing with Scarm is like it does switch in pretty well to
A lot of things.
a handful of these guys. So like I feel like there's
Yeah.
enough spots where I could get it in and get spikes up.
Yeah. I'm thinking maybe like a crown lead actually. Like, because again, it outspeeds everything, and you kill the one thing that it's faster than, that's slower than.
Yeah.
Sorry. So like, what would be a bad thing for crown lead?
Yeah, I mean if it's like Bolt, like great,
Bolt,
and get some chip. I don't know.
Yeah, I mean Bolt, you would probably. I mean, it's probably the same thing. You probably just volt switch into. At least you volt switch get a little bit, but yeah, you probably just volt switch into Rotom.
Yeah.
That's probably the play, right?
And if at least if like he, we'll know if he's Scarf right away. If
Yeah, because even if he is Scarf, he doesn't like one shot you. I don't think, right?
yeah,
He's
no.
Thorough Electric, does he? Let's see. I doubt it, but it'll do a solid chunk. But at least you know right away. Electric. Thunderbolt versus Iron Crown. Specs. Yeah, it doesn't one-shot you. It does solid chunk. I guess he could volt switch into like Donphan or something. I don't know, but I think you have to volt switch anyway.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, because it's kind of hard to lead something. Like you would have to basically lead the Rotom.
Right.
Maybe would Rotom be? Rotom's not bad either, and because you do have your switch into Urshifu. Actually, now that I'm looking at it, Rotom might not be bad. What does Rotom get scared out by besides Urshifu? Not much.
Yeah, I feel like
Could be a Rotom lead here.
yeah, that's not bad.
And if it's Bolt lead, you just light screen, I think.
Yeah.
Be light screen, let's say he substitutes. Sub would be a crazy play because you can easily be Trick, but
Yep. Yeah.
if he does sub as you light screen, then what? What would he do after? He wouldn't electric move you. He'd probably dragon move you, right? Or just Calm Mind or something. You could probably just volt switch into Crown, I think. And behind the light screen, I think Crown should be able to like Calm Mind up and take it on, I think. Or just straight up Psyshock it down, I think.
Yeah.
Would be fine too. So yeah, I kinda like the Rotom lead actually. I still think you disguise this guy as Scarm. And if you see Arbok, you lead Zoroark to taunt him from T-spiking and glaring and whatever. And then I think if you taunt the Arbok on a T-spike, would you sub? Does Skarmory get taunt? What do you think? You're still Skarmory? It does. You might think you're still Skarmory if you taunt him.
That's fair. Yeah.
Yeah. You could potentially sub the following turn because again, he shouldn't just poison move.
Yeah.
And then if he goes, what would he go versus Skarmory? Like Moltres? I guess you could just Hyper Voice technically versus Arbok if he's taunted. Like there's no point in like.
Does Hyper Voice? I mean, what is Arbok's like? I know so little about Arbok. What is its defensive stats like? Are they pretty?
It's like 60, 80.
Wait, does it just get blown up by Hyper Voice? Like it probably doesn't get one shot, but it was 80 plus or something.
It'll take a lot, yeah. Silk Scarf. Oh, this is the regular. Oops. Yeah, I mean if he's like max HP, I guess it'll do like still 70. Yeah, you probably just straight up Hyper Voice actually. You don't even bother subbing because you don't want to. You want to get the hit on Moltres if you can. And then if you do get the Moltres on the switch, you just taunt that guy and keep him low. I think.
Yeah.
Even if he hits you, I think that's still fine. I think it's still worth it.
Does Silk Scarf? Did we look? I don't remember. Does Silk Scarf Hyper Voice 2-shot the Moltres?
Moltres, no.
Fidef?
If Fizdef, yes. Fidef,
if it's
no.
Fizdef, yeah, okay.
Yeah. Maybe you do go Rotom in the first play because then you don't want to lose your thing. It really depends on the rules. Like taunting Arbok and then hyper voicing into Moltres, I could see a Rotom pivot. I think that's okay, honestly. But Yeah, other than that, I think you just leave the Rotom. I think that's okay. So
Cool.
yeah, versus Bolt, you late screen. Versus Urshifu, you just go Scarm. Rotom, Weavile. You could probably just overheat. I think the Bolt is probably the switch. You could Volt switch, and then if he goes Donphan, then you just overheat, or you go Scarm. Up to you. Probably Volt switch versus Weavile. He should not stay in versus Rotom.
Yeah.
I think you probably Volt switch.
Yeah.
Even like these guys, like again, he shouldn't stay in. You probably just want to Volt switch versus like everything that you're not switching out. So
Yeah.
literally
He-
Urshifu and like Donphan. That's it.
I do feel like switching on Rotom is very scary for him.
It is, yeah.
Because like he doesn't know until he knows what set I am anyway.
Yeah.
Because Wisp like sucks for a lot of guys.
Yeah.
Like I guess honestly Trick would actually be fine for Raging Bolt most likely. I mean like if he's like sub Calm Mind obviously it kind of sucks, but like it's not the worst thing if he just has a Scar for his specs, but like until he knows his set.
Yeah.
There's a lot of moves that are scary.
Yeah, I honestly think you literally Volt switch. Well, versus Bolt you light screen, and then Urshifu you obviously go Skarmory. But other than that, I think you literally just Volt switch versus everything. He shouldn't stay in. He should go Bolt.
Yeah.
Donphan lead, you probably just straight up. You could overheat or you could go Skarm. It's up to you. Yeah, I mean getting that guy low would be really nice for hands. How much does it do? Let me see. Donphan versus Rotom. Heat. Does over half if he's not AV or Spadef.
I think if he leads, like he's, well, he could be a Spadef, but he's not gonna be like AV lead.
Yeah.
Lead probably wants to get Rock Sweat.
Yeah.
Which to be fair, he very easily could lead Donphan if he sees it and brings Stoice, I guess. Just to get.
Yeah, you probably overheat and then pivot Skarmory, I think, because he should rocks, I think. So I think you overheat that guy and then light screen versus Bolt, and then everything else you Volt switch. Urshifu you go Skarm.
Yeah.
I think that's okay. We didn't do the Terra type for Skarm.
Is there any world where we like actually Terra this thing?
I don't think so.
Yeah, I don't either. That's why.
Yeah.
So do you think ground is the best?
Probably.
Like bluff here.
Yeah. So you would just prevent. Yeah, you would just scare him from not just clicking an electric move, I guess.
And honestly, actually, with ground, it actually encourages, like, if he does click an attack with Urshifu, I would rather have him click Surging in case he is not pads.
Yeah, I agree.
Because at least he's going to take more chip anyways. With, like, ground, he's going to click Surging instead of CC.
Yeah.
Whereas, like, if we're something else, he might just CC and
Exactly.
take less chip.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm cool with ground. I like ground. Ground. Okay. Okay, but I mean, yeah, I think this team is fine. I think this team is good. It's gonna be an offensive game, I think, but I really think the key to you winning is getting up spikes. If you get all 3 spikes up, I think you'll win this game for sure. One, I still think it's very doable. 0 spikes, I think, is where you'll kind of fall short, in my opinion here. So,
Sure.
This hands does have the set though to literally just win. Like it's very hard for him to. Once Bolt goes down, this game becomes so much easier. So,
for sure. Yeah.
That's why I think the spikes is just really nice. But other than that, I think everything's okay. Like you cover his threats pretty well. Like against literally just Skarm, where you can like handle his threats. But yeah, and then I think your offense is solid. Like Valiant is just like that guy. Like just like outspeeds everything and does a lot of damage. It's probably your cleaner here / revenge killer, and then even Crown. Like these 2 guys are kind of interchangeable, because they outspeed everything besides one guy. So and then they both also kill that one guy that's faster than them. So yeah, I think those 2 plus hands is just really hard for his team, and I think you have the hazard control. So I think you should be okay, honestly.
Awesome.
All right.
I like it a lot.
Yeah.
I was gonna say the only one thing I'm still like on the fence about, and this I know this was my idea, wasn't sure, is whether or not EQ is better than Whirlwind on hands here.
Hands.
The only reason I'm thinking this too, because if I'm in front of Bolt and he is like Terra Ghost or something, like I'm trying to think if I'm in like a weird spot like that where he hasn't Terra'd yet. I know he has Terra Ghost.
Oh, I see what you're saying.
Like,
yeah.
I'm gonna want to Drain Punch,
Yeah.
because like Thunder Punch isn't gonna do anything.
I see what you're saying. Yeah.
So EQ at least is like a safe click. That's all I'm thinking there.
Yeah, and again, it does do more to like Metagross, for example.
Metagross and
or if he's like, I don't know, Terra something weak to ground. Because
Arbok gets Intimidate too, right?
yeah, it does.
So could be a little better into that.
Yeah.
But I still think I could probably just like.
Why did we put Whirlwind there?
Anyway. That was mainly just for Alchemy, which
Alchemy.
I don't think is coming. But it could.
Yeah. Yeah. Don't sleep on it though if it does come, because it is annoying. If it is a
with
double
Terra,
dance.
that thing is gross.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's why I said the Whirlwind thing. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, we do have Whirlwind on this guy too, though, and Light Screen, so it's not the end of the world. But yeah, if it starts Calm Minding, like, could be a bit hard to actually do damage. Terra Ghost Calm Mind is pretty annoying for you. So, but I think we'll be okay. So, all right, we can do EQ.
Get a couple.
Yeah.
I was gonna say I can always try and get a couple mucks in this week, and if Whirlwind feels worse, I can swap to EQ. But otherwise, I like all of it a lot.
All right, well, yeah, we'll keep. I think just Whirlwinding too is a solid if you get spikes up too. So.
Yeah.
But all right, I think that's gonna do it. I appreciate you joining me, man. I hope you had a good sesh here. I hope I could build a good team. I mean, yeah, it's just this, like you said, your team is so. It's like it's the typings that you're missing. Is weird. I still think this team is like, you could still easily make the playoffs with this team. Like, that's why I think this team is good. But like on paper, some people might think, oh, like it's not great. It's because like I think what really did it is because your top two Pokemon share a typing, which you rarely see. You don't really see that. I know one of them is a Terra type, but like that's not really seen much. So
that's not something I typically do. I was just so I had the first overall pick, so I took Valiant.
Yeah,
I've never used it before. I've never used it before, and I was like, it just looks fun. Like I know it's good. Let's try it.
Yeah.
And I have used Hands before, never with Terra. And I felt like at pick 32, I just think Hands is incredibly good, and I just was like, screw it. I'm just gonna pick the best two mons available in the first two picks. That was just kind of my thought process. So then, I was like, I'll figure it out. But
because you know you have literally Hands, but you have a fighting and you have an electric, right? So you can easily like take this guy off and put on something like, I don't know, Glamora or some strong ground type or something. And you're like, oh, like this team looks better. But I still think Hands is so good that it doesn't really matter. Plus, again, it's Terra. So I still think this team is pretty solid. But okay, sorry, I've been yapping.
No, you're good.
Yeah, we've been going for a bit. But anyways, appreciate you joining. I thank you guys a ton for watching. And then we're going to cut to the battle. Peace. Alright guys, we're here for KSaun's battle versus Hunky Dunky for the BBR. I did make a couple of changes to the paste. First things first is he did throw Earthquake on Iron Hands instead of Whirlwind. Earthquake is good because it does give a strong hit into something like a Terra Ghost, which is what he said he's been seeing pretty much every week versus his team. As well as if the Bolt does go Terra Electric, which is definitely possible in this matchup. I will hit that obviously a bit harder too. Next off, he went with Knockoff over Encore on Val. Knockoff is really nice because when there's things like Metagross or something like a Moltres there where it's a pretty obvious switch into the Fairy type. Getting rid of the item, especially on Moltres, will be huge. If it's not, if it doesn't have the boots, it'll take 50%, and then Moonblast and a T-Bolt will kill it next time. Metagross is nice if we can knock off its item, and then if we potentially get some spikes up, it'll be in range of Thunderbolt pretty quickly. And then lastly, he actually just changed Zorwark for Stoice here. So subbing out some offense for some defense here. Spin is nice though in case Toxic Spike does come. His Sea-Spiker is Arbok, so it's probably not going to come, but if it does come, it's really nice. And then, again, we said most of his team is pretty much physical, except for like Bolt. So just having a Max Fizdef's helmet Stoice with Flip Turn for pivoting is really nice. So let's go ahead and get into the battle. He did basically just upload it to YouTube early and unlist it, and then I could just watch the video. So we'll see what Hunky decides to bring. Unfortunately for Hunky, you know, I do got the prep against him, but in the following weeks for BBR, I will be helping him out a little bit just so he can start getting some wins if possible. I did help him for BBRD League, so but we'll see what he brought versus us. Wow, so yeah, he does bring the T-Spike. Okay. So what did he not bring that was a little bit annoying? No Moltres is really good for Valiant, man. It's pretty good for things like Skarmory and stuff too, because Moltres is pretty much like a like an infinite switch into Skarmory. So I'm gonna go ahead and put this to 2 times speed. Where do I do that? Speed. 2 times. Okay. Yeah, he's gonna lead the Rotom though, and I believe the Bolt is Terra Ghost as well. So again, no really shock there. He can use that to block Rapid Spin if he wants, if he gets up the T-Spike early, and then Terras, he could use that as a spin blocker. So I don't think T-Spike is too crazy for the specific team that we brought. Hands is Lomberry. We have Spin now. Obviously, it doesn't affect Rotom, so he's going to leave with the Bolt right away. So it looks like KSaun's going to go for a Light Screen, and I 100% agree with that play. Hunky's probably just going to straight up attack if I had to guess here. Either Volt Switch or Terra Blast, one of the two. He might not Terra here. Yeah, he doesn't Terra because then he would be weak or neutral Volt Switch. He's going to go right into Donphan. Okay. So he was expecting a Volt Switch. Honestly, if I'm KSaun here, he can go Stoice. Stoice is pretty much like a counter to this. He's not going to Earthquake in front of Rotom. And we should see probably Rocks. Yep. So he could just spin immediately. Another play he could have done is just straight up Overheat and then went to Stoice on the attack and then spin, and then basically Donphan would be in range of the next hit. I'm pretty sure Overheat does over half to Donphan at least. So we're going to see a pivot into Arbok, which is interesting on a Rapid Spin. Yeah. This is fine for KSaun here. He can just spin if Arbok goes for T-Spike. So honestly, if I'm him, I'd probably just click Yawn here, yeah. Like, you don't want to flip turn, so Yawn's correct. Nice. T-Spike does go up, so yeah, should see a spin here. Ghost, Bridgemo hasn't Terra to Ghost yet, so this is free. And Arbok doesn't really do too much to Stoice. We're Fizdef, right? They could glare us. Should be annoying, but yeah, he's gonna switch. So right into Bolt. Is that 2 crits in a row? Light Screen's off, so we do have to pivot to Rotom here. He can flip turn these faster. Thunderclap would be pretty bad though. Like it's gonna do a good chunk because we're Fizdef. I don't think you risk it. Yeah, you just make the safe Rotom play. Solid. Let's see what Hunky goes for here. There's a Terra. Okay. I'm assuming Volt Switch or Terra Blast is coming out here. Terra Blast does come out. Okay. Now we don't know if we're actually we are faster. Unless you Scarf, we are faster. We're like max speed on this guy. So he can opt to go for Light Screen. Honestly, if I'm him, I probably go for Volt Switch. Oh, let's see. Is he going to Donphan? No, he goes into Arbok. Yeah, I like Volt Switch here just because. Well, maybe not actually, because if he just straight up Draco Meteor, we died. So never mind. I think actually Pain Splitting or Light Screening was correct there. So my mistake. I'm assuming that the Bolt is locked into it, but there's no reason to assume that. So I like Light Screen there. It's fine. Now you can Volt Switch though for free. There's no reason not to Volt Switch here, I don't think. All right. Yeah, Volt Switch is the play. Yep, nice. And this guy is dead after 1. So now the problem is he's going to bring in Stoice, but the Bolt is Ghost type. So do you flip turn or do you simply Rapid Spin here? He goes to the flip turn. I agree. I think there's no reason to not block the spin if I'm Hunky here. And you know what? If he stays in, then you can switch into something and just kill the Arbok. It is what it is. It's fine. But I really expect Raging Bolt to come in here, right? It should. Yeah, he just stays in, which is crazy. So he could have Rapid Spun and then just killed him with Flip Turn the turn after. But so Toxic Spikes are still up. It's not the end of the world. It really just hurts Valiant, to be honest, but it's okay. We still haven't gotten our spikes up, which is a bit annoying, but there really hasn't been an opportunity to get the spikes up yet. But spikes are really good into Hunky's team, like we said. So he's going to send out Metagross. We do have Volt Switch on this, though, just to get some residual chip on this guy until he's finally in range of a Valiant or a Crown attack later on in the game. Again, this is where the spikes would have been nice, but He could probably Volt Switch into Skarmory here and then set up a Spike. I'm assuming that's what he's going to do here. I'm not a big fan of the Blastoise play here. Yeah, Skarm's nice because, again, he could just go Bolt to block. Nice. On the Earthquake, very nice. Should see a Spike here. Clicked right away. He knows the plan. Yeah, I don't think Hunky... Yeah, Hunky has no removal, so this Spike is here to stay. Yep, there's the Bolt. Makes sense. And Spike is really nice if this thing is not Boots. Light Screen wears off, unfortunately, at the worst time, so Draco Meteor come off would kill Rotom, but he would have to predict that. I think you have to. You still go Rotom here, though. It's good for any other attack besides Draco. So... And then if he doesn't end up Dracoing, he Tower Blast. Nice. So now we could just Pain Split. Yeah, this is really good. Yeah, I lived on 5. Damn. This is going to be a big Pain Split. Hopefully he stays in. That'd be nice to chip this guy. And Raging Bull has a shitload of health. So we would get a lot back here. Bajram, Donphan, Pain Split. Okay, nice. Overheat should just kill this guy, right? Oh, he's not overheating. Surely Overheat kills him. We know he's not Assault Vest. Unless like Max Assault Vest or Max Def lives. He goes for Light Screen here. Yeah, he just allowed the spin immediately. I think Overheat's always the click here, right? It didn't look like he was calcing or anything. I think he just like clicked his move. But I'm pretty certain Overheat kills here though. So I would have definitely overheated. I'm not sure why he didn't. Maybe he just didn't realize it killed. So we allowed the spin, which is very annoying. And the rocks to go up too. Oh boy. Yeah, we would have denied spin and rocks, which would have been hella nice. And now we can't even spin them away because there's a Raging Bolt. I agree with this play though, flip turning. Even though he didn't block it last time when he sacked the Arbok, I think he should be blocking these spins. So I like flip turn here. If anything, it still does a lot of damage to Donphan. But yeah, we should see Bolt. Bolt does come in here. Yeah. What did that say? Something was on the screen. I didn't even read it. LOL, no, they just got spun away. Oh, he must have mentioned something about like boots maybe. But yeah, he spun the hazards away. So we still don't know Bolt's item. We did get momentum into it though, so yep, we can go Rotom, that's fine, and just click. He's gonna click Volt Switch actually here. Is Light Screen up right now? I don't even know. But Volt Switch is okay. Donphan comes in. Please just overheat. Right? Overheat kills. Overheat comes off. Yeah, it kills. Yeah, he probably should have done this earlier. Yeah, that's funny. Yeah, because we would have, like I said before, blocked the spin, or stopped the spin and stopped the rocks. But at least he got rid of it now. So I still think he's in a good spot. He's playing good here. So in comes Urshifu. Our Skarm is pretty much full health, so unfortunately Rocks is going to break the sturdy, but I still think Skarmory is the play here. Let's see what Hunky decides to go for here. Scariest would probably be Swords Dance. Oh, okay, there's a Swords Dance. Swords Dance, Punching Glove, Close Combat might kill Skarm at +2, but we're max Fizz Depth, so honestly I think he lives. And he can choose to get some damage off with Body Press or Whirlwind him out here. He's going to go for the Whirlwind. Is he Punching Glove? He absolutely is Punching Glove. Okay. But Skarm does barely live it. Okay, so now we know this set. It's SD and either 3 attacks with Jet or SD Trailblaze 2 attacks. Definitely mid-scaring. We do get the Weavile, which is fine. You just sack the Skarmory here, I think. Get some chip with the helmet at least. Right? Just go for probably a Spike. Yeah, knockoff. Okay. We get some chip on the Weavile at least. Now we have a play into Weavile. We can go either either Crown or Hands, in my opinion here. He's gonna go. Yeah, he's gonna go with this guy. We eat the Lumberry. It's either Swords Dance or Drain Punch here. What does he have in the back? He's got Metagross, this guy, Urshifu. What's his last Pokemon? I forgot. If he doesn't have a fighting resist, I think you just Drain Punch here. I don't think you need to set up. Let me just go back for a second. He has... Oh, and Raging Bolt left, the Ghost type. Okay, so because the Ghost type is still there, I think you do Swords Dance here. And, I mean, Hunky probably switches. No, he does not switch. He stays in. Okay. Well, we don't get two-shot, so... Now it's a bit of a guessing game here, right? Like, oh, just kidding. There's no guessing to be had. Okay. It's a bit of a guessing game here. Like, we're +2. Oh, he didn't attack yet. We're +2, right? And Drain Punch is obviously hella obvious. But if he goes into Bolt on this Drain Punch, then we don't kill, and then we potentially die to Draco Meteor. If we always live a hit from Raging Bolt, then I think Drain is fine. But because it's likely a switch in here, maybe he could have went for Thunder Punch as like a neutral click. If it kills Weavile from here. But I didn't even see what he clicked. I think he clicked Drain Punch. He switches. Does he go Bolt? Yeah, he does go Bolt. Did he click Drain Punch? Yeah, he did. Okay. Yeah, Thunder Punch probably would have been a bit better there, but I get why he clicked Drain Punch. I can't really fault him for that. Yeah, because I don't think he doesn't have an electric resist, actually. Metagross and Urshifu obviously does not resist electric, so probably would have clicked Thunder Punch there. I think that was the play for sure. It covers any switches and just kills Weavile. We're going to Terra... Do we live this? Oh, we live it with ease. Hell yeah. Thunder Punch doesn't quite kill. Yeah, now he's thinking, does he save this guy? We're Fairy type. If we go into Rotom here, we'll get hit really low, and then we'll die to a Thunderclap. Hands dies to everything, I think, from this range, so I don't think you save it, right? I think you just throw it away, which sucks, but it is what it is. Yeah, he's going to sack the hands here. Right, yep, okay. Yeah, I thought we would get a bit more out of hands there, but with no spike up and just having to take a hit as we Swords Dance, it's kind of tough. But our crown is looking very good here, though. A lot of things are weakened for it. It's literally just Metagross that needs to be chipped, and then crown pretty much wins. So he's going to go for it here and probably click Tachyon. Tachyon's fine. And actually, if they go into Metagross, that's perfect for us because, again, we just want chip on that. They do go Metagross, yeah. I think this is a misplay by Hunky. I think he's not realizing that he's getting closer and closer to losing to Valiant / Crown by getting chip on this guy. I think if I'm Hunky there, I just sack the Bolt there. I don't think there's any reason to take damage because now we get that hit plus a Volt Switch. Yeah, so he's about half now. So we can go... I think you go Blastoise here, right? Yeah, it goes knockoff. Ooh, take the... Now we lose our boots. I think Stoice was actually a better play there, right? You could just go Stoice. Knockoff didn't matter. We lost our item, I believe, right? And then you could just yawn into Flip Turn, right? His Ghost type is almost dead, too. So once Bolt goes down, Spin is free. Losing the boots on Rotom is a bit tough there because rocks are up. And if we don't Pain Split... some health back, we're dead on entry now, so he's kind of forced to just attack here with Overheat, yeah. At least that's what I would do. Yeah, or do you Overheat? Yeah, nice, we killed Weavile, yeah. I mean, it's kind of tough for him to go into Urshifu on this, right, expecting Overheat, because if we just Volt Switch, that's really bad. So maybe his play was probably to sack the Bolt instead of Weavile. Weavile is actually still not bad. The speed is really nice too. I think with that kill, this game becomes really, really easy for KSaun to win now too. We'll see what he brings out here. In comes Urshifu. So we're going to Volt Switch here. And then we have to go into something unexpected Swords Dance. Yeah, there's a Swords Dance. But we have a faster... Oh my god. Oh, damn. Yeah... That definitely never killed. That probably didn't even do half. But the thing is, if one of these two guys, which I think actually both probably do, definitely Crown. If one of these two lived a +2 Aqua Jet, which I think they both do. They both Oko the Urshifu, and they're faster. So if they just take a jet, then it's fine. So that crit, obviously, that crit probably sealed the game. It definitely sealed the game. But had it not happened, I still think KSaun was in a pretty commanding position to win from this spot. But yeah, now all they have is Metagross and the like 10% Bolt. So this should be pretty much all wraps here. And the Metagross isn't like some sort of setup set. I think it had rocks, right? Like rocks and like knockoff or something. So yeah, this game should be pretty much over. It's either going to be like a 4-0 or 0 or 3-0 probably. Let's see. You just Volt Switch here, right? Volt Switch into Stoice, I think is the play. Yep. Bang, chip, another crit. Wow. He's probably gotten like what, 5 crits this game? Bit lucky. In comes Stoice, EQ comes off. We eat that up for days. We can Yawn. I like Yawn a bit better because we're faster than Stoice. So if we flip turn, we have to go into. I mean, we have to switch into an attack, but we probably just sack the Rotom anyway, right? And then Crown wins. Flip turn into Rotom, sack into Crown should win, right? Flip turn. Rotom should be sacked. Yep. Whoa, that was a weird cut. What the heck just happened? Oh, we sacked to the rocks. Slower. Brain is much from the creation. Slower. Who's slower? Blastoise? No. Yeah, Blastoise is faster base speed. I don't know. I don't have the sound on, so I don't know what he's talking about. But yeah, Crown should just win from here, right? Should be a GG. Yeah, Tachyon, and then we're gonna kill Bolt too, obviously. So looks like it's gonna be a 3-0 for KSaun. Pretty honestly, not like this is a pretty well played game. There were two like pretty. The first misplay was huge. The not killing the Donphan, because not only did it take us a couple more turns to get rid of him, but we allowed spin to go off and they got rocks up, and we were never able to spin away the rocks either. So had he just overheated the Donphan that earlier turn, I think he probably would have won this game like 5-0 or 4-0 at the very least. So that was a pretty big mistake, but it seems like he realized it because he put the note up after that he could have done it a few turns ago. And then the other one, there was one more misplay. I forget. I said it. What's the other one? I forget. He whirlwinded. Oh, this one. Like Thunder Punch, I think is always the click here, right? Because it covers any switches. There's no resist. Maybe he was scared that did +2 Thunder Punch like not kill Weavile or something? Is that it? Maybe if that was it, like I could see him, but the Weavile is at 83% after helmet. So I think just Thunder Punching is always nice here. Plus, again, it was pretty likely that he was going to switch expecting a fighting move, I think. So Thunder Punch was definitely a nice like middle ground click there. But other than that, pretty well played by KSaun. Definitely, guys, go check him out. I'm gonna have the link from both perspectives in the description down below, from his perspective and then from Hunky's as well, plus his channel. If you guys aren't subscribed to him, please go subscribe. He's a very nice guy, a very good battler, and he does do Wi-Fi content. So without further ado, thank you guys a ton for watching. Again, if you want to be part on this series, all you have to do is join the Discord down below and type the words in the Team Building with Zooch sign up channel, and then I'll get you guys into the queue. Videos are definitely going to be a bit slower, guys. I do apologize for that, but DPL did start up, which is a team tour, and I do have to put a lot of work into that. Plus, I'm pretty busy IRL pretty recently, but I'm going to try to at least get maybe one video per week. So thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you guys later. Peace.